Fire in the hole. Holy mackerel. That is hot. That is hot. Okay. Refreshers. There it is. There it is, was, and always will be. Ya-la-la-la-da-da. All right, sports fans, here we are again. It is Friday in America, May 24th, 2019. Still 2019. Waiting for 2020. Looking forward to good things. All right, we are 2 minutes and 5 seconds away from closing this daily candle out. As we can see on our MEX chart here, which I did bring back to life. I know we've been swapping back and forth between Coinbase and Brave New Coin, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, back to MEX. But anyway, we can see right here the swing fail on our May 18th candle. Right, with the 3 down and then the slight, almost double bottom with the push up. But anyway, we can see rejection again, a failed attempt to push up past our symmetrical triangle. Nothing too crazy there, but we did talk about the cautionary period. Oh, hey, look, I got my little thing. Am I singing? Sound is great. All right, Scout, what's up? Did you see my XBT mech long on the daily? I saw something on Twitter. I looked at it quick. It looked like you were waiting for buy orders down in, I thought it said 76 or something like that. I'd have to take another look. I looked at it real quick though. Can we look at BCHAB in a minute? And yes, no, most certainly. No, you already got those buys. Good. All right, nice. Yeah, we'll take a look at BCH and BNB. Don't you worry, Snow and G-Byte, yada, yada, yada. We are 20 seconds away from closing this candle out. So, exciting times. Yeah, I added a little chat window. And I might have to make that a little bit bigger because they can't read it. I know that sort of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? It does. Let's see if I can do this without messing everything up. Oh, what do you think? What do we got? We got any yes or no's for that? I feel like everything shifted a little bit here. Probably not a good thing. All right, but at least this way I could kind of read them a little bit without having to scroll over to the other computer. I don't know. Well, we're trying some things out, all right? So bear with me here. Anyway. Yeah, we closed the candle out. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look real quick. We opened up at 78.75. We had a high 81.94, so just under 8,200, a low of 78.01, giving us a span of about $400. Closed it out at 79.97, so failed to close above or into 8,000. It's more of a psychological thing, so don't put too much weight into it. But we are looking at a gain of $120. All right. Nobody's complaining about that. 1.55% up. So that is awesome. Again, like we talked about yesterday, right? So cautionary period for Bitcoin. If it crosses now, we're in a whole new day. So we're looking at this crossing 82.27 into the range of 82.27 to 8,400 is going to be our swing fail cautionary period on the long side, right? If we get up and close over, and like I said, maybe scroll it down to like a 4 hour or 1 hour. If we get up and close above, then you can start looking at long positions up above 8,400. Short-lived though, because it does look like we have major resistance somewhere around the 85 ballpark. If and when we do get up there, then we will pay a little bit more attention to it. Until now, we could see a low as 76.85 without anybody screaming too hard. I know it seems like a lot, but we do have room to take it, right? So as patterns go, right, we hit a bottom, we hit a top, we hit a bottom, we hit a top, we hit a bottom, we hit a top. So pattern would tell us, next step is to find another bottom. Find a bottom or work your way down to a bottom, find support, push back up, find a top, yada, 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 yada. Now, all symmetrical triangles by pattern definition, you do want a breakout between 50 and 75%. So if you hit apex, you've gone too far, right? Apex is not going to do it for you. So pattern needs to be pushed like in the next candle or two. Other than that, you're just getting too close to the apex, and at that point, it's more or less a failed pattern, and put less and less and less weight into an actual breakout, right? Then you just sort of bleed out the sides, and it's just not pretty for anybody. All right, so that will about cover our Bitcoin daily. I have to double check and make sure that that thing is actually working, but give me 1 second. Okay. All right, yeah. Just made coffee. Nice. Okay, yeah, so, all right, I'm back. All right, let's take a look at BCH. BCH, ABC, USD. Oh, what is going on here? BCH, ABC. What? Oh, I'm in stocks. I was doing a little bit of, sorry. Don't worry, don't mind me. Okay, all's good. Here we go. BCH, USDT, daily chart. All right. What do we got here? So we had a swing fail dating back to April 2nd, pushed it. We got ourselves a failed high, another low. We took the second one to get a better pattern. We used that. That was good. Broke it on the long stride, right? Long stride not only did that, it pushed us up over this this trend line right here, the red resistance line. Came back down, retested that line, so all was well there. Everybody was happy. Pushed up off of it and ended up getting ourselves another swing fail. So again, like a lot of charts that we're going to see, or at least that I've been seeing in the last few days, you got a lot of swing fails, right? Litecoin is no exception. We just pushed another one on that. And then those smaller cap coins that we were looking at yesterday. A lot of swing fails. So coming up to make that second high and painting the same sort of situation here, right? Creeped up for a mini swing fail. That's this guy right here. Pushed down, right? Came back down. This was 382. Pull back, push back up. Another swing fail. So double swing, and this time we took the higher of the two. Same thing here. Higher of the two. Draw a line. Again, cautionary period in between our previous high, which is now set up 455, and our swing fail line. So as we get further and further and further into the pattern, larger and larger and larger cautionary period. As far as we could tell right now, it's very, very, very similar to Bitcoin. If we just drew this line right here and our swing fail line, so swing fail line and this line down here, right, we just have them both sort of meet in the middle. And what do you got? You got yourself just another symmetrical triangle, right? So you're just painting and painting and painting more and more and more patterns that are all more or less the same. Now, what we do with a symmetrical triangle after a large move up is typically considered a bull flag. Not a bull pennant, but a bull flag. So I know we do this every time, but might as well do it for anybody who's new. Bang, bang, bang. And this guy over here, like so. And this would be your pennant. I know it's a little long. There we go. All right, so that's more or less what a flag. Oh, man, I lost my mouse. Oh, geez, it's over. All right, don't worry. I got a secondary backup mouse, but that's not good. That's not good. All right, so anyway, this is more along the lines of a flag, right? Flag. And this is more along the line of a pennant, right? So large move up, and then you paint yourself a symmetrical triangle. You got yourself a pennant. I know. I know. We try to teach at the same time. I want my mouse back. Oh, killing me. All right, so as far as we could tell right now, at least on the daily chart, we do have support on our 7, right? So this is 7-7 on the pink and blue. 13 on the orange as far as MAs are concerned. So it's still okay, but volume is decreasing, right? So decreasing volume, right, with not only a drop, but also with a push. So not great overall as far as things are concerned, but we're also not doing much as far as things are concerned. So as far as price is concerned, not much is happening, right? At the end of the day, if you averaged all this out, you'd probably be somewhere on that baseline. So that's okay. A decrease in volume with not much change in price is usually a bullish scenario. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. All right. Coming back down and testing this is what we talked about a few days ago. Coming back here into that zone. Again, I wanted it back over here, but we still got the buy entries in on the box. Or we just missed it. Not really totally sure. But anyway, that's your BCH ABC. All right, so let's do, what do you want? BNB? BNB. Okay. Yeah, so man, I really want my mouse back. Ugh. Jeez. It's the little things, you know? It's the mouse. It's the mouse. Can you hear it? That's the mouse not working. It's called mouse death. It's scary. Very scary. All right. BNB. Daily chart. All right, so we talked about getting to 37 something, right? I think that's my next big target is, 37. That being said, we did complete our 423 a few days ago. I think we already talked about that. And our negative 21, which is fine. All right, so let me scroll this back so I could show you these targets, right? So 1618 off of first all-time high. Well, okay. First major all-time high with a major pullback. All right, so of course every one of these is an all-time high. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about all-time high with an actual pullback. So this to this to this, right? That move, right? That ABC move painted us targets for the future. Hey, the future. So anyway, because of our move down and finding support February 5th, 2018, we were able to get targets all the way up to and including, whatever, $255. But we're not worried about that right now. What we're looking at is 37.32 ballpark area for the next major leg up. Okay, so let me just, I know, sorry. I don't have my mouse. So now things are sad. All right. So anyway, that coincides with a negative 3618, which I don't typically use, but I do have it on here. So a negative 3618 right here. All right. So that gets us 3747 ballpark. We'd still have support on everything, right? We're still painting the same type of pattern that we've been painting, or at least trend, I should say. So trend-wise, we're good, right? We get our high, right, and then we dip down a little bit, and then we test previous structure, okay? Previous structure is tested, it's fine, we come up, takes a little while, but we do end up breaking our previous high. So now we're back in trend, right? So you got your low, you got your high, you got your higher low, bang, you got your higher high. You push up, while you push up, you come back down a little bit, right? We didn't need to test support over here, but we came close. It ended up being a negative 1618 off of a previous move, but again, not that important. Another big push up, another little pullback, this time pull back to our EMAs, right? Our 7 EMA. Easy. Push back up again, find a little hesitation, which is what it's doing right now. Now, this could do one of two things. If we look at previous moves, after a large move, right, we have consecutive moves. We also have little spinning tops in between, right? So you got a decent move, spinning top, good move, spinning top, good move, pullback to the spinning top, right? Big move, spinning top, big move, right? This time we didn't get the pullback back down to the spinning top. We just got just a little push. And then this second candle pushed and tried, didn't quite make it. So we just had another big move, right? So if we just went by that, then we could say, all right, if we got a spinning top today, it'd be no big deal and another push up. All right, well, that'd be great. We could have multiple spinning tops and then another push up. That would also be great. What I don't see happening is this right here. Big move up, spinning top, and a drop, right? We just haven't quite got to that point yet. I think if we hit this 37 mark, I think then we're going to find enough resistance to push it down. Any kind of pullback we get now, I think it's just going to retest this EMA, right? This 7 EMA over here, which is fine. As you can see, we have support all the way across the line. Next stop, though, if that does test and fail, well, then you're looking at coming down into the 28 zone, finding support off the 13, and so on and so forth, right? You keep going down and down and down. Now, we could put a whole new mammer jammer on this puppy, right? Just to get an idea on the local side. You know, now we're still on a daily chart, so keep that in mind. But if, oh man, I need my mouse back. I really do. Okay, so if we're just looking on the local side, just that move, right? That's all we're concentrating on. Pulling back all the way down to, which would make the most sense, the 618 would get us down to about 24. Now, what does that do at the same time? Check it out, right? When you come down, what do? You look left, and did you test previous support, right? This is structure right here. So this white line over at 25.18, that's my structure line. So with a structure line, this was a previous, right, all-time high. Came down, made a new low. Right? This is like, get out of the trade, you're too low. Push back up, so right here you crossed it. You came back, you retested it. That's good, but you tested on just on like a local side, right? And then the trend continued up and up and up and up and up. If you were to come down for a major pullback, consider the 618 a good place to come down to. You come down here and that does a few things. One, you're going to test your 13, you're going to test your 21, and you're going to push down a little bit further and retest structure highs. Structure high gets retested, confidence in the trade, another push back up for the next high, right? And then you have to start playing around with this situation on the local side, right? What's a 1-to-1 from here? You know, that's something that we would look at. And that'd be sitting at somewhere around 51.17. So a 1-to-1 off of this move would get you up to 51. A pullback down here would get you somewhere around 25, 24 in that ballpark. All right, so that's BNB. Hey-oh! Okay. You know, I added this fancy little chat thing, and you think anyone's using it? No. All right. All right, let's take a look at what kind of movers we had today. As we pull up our list, what are we on here? Friday? So what do we want to see? Do we want to see a 1 day or want to see like a weekend jam? Let's go with the 3 day. Let's go with the 3 day, right? Tail end of the week, you know. Let me just clear this, make sure we're good. Okay, so TNT has been on the list for quite some time. Let's see. Not beautiful, not beautiful, not beautiful, not beautiful, not beautiful. A lot of indecision going on over here. Nothing real super strong. Okay, we do have ELF ETH, all right, giving us a least strong trend on the 30 and the hourly. Sideways, slightly bearish on the 4, 6, 12, and daily. So the longer time frames are showing a little bit of weak stuff, but you do have a little bit of a trend forming on the shorter time frame. So the 3 day period gave us an increase of 56%, pulled back from that 56% about 60 or so, right? So call that a gain of 25% ballpark overall. All right. The next one showing almost the same trend is going to be ELF BTC. So ELF BTC showing almost the same thing here, but started to convert on the longer time frames, right? So if you can get all these light pink to start going light green and then light green to dark green, then we got something we can start messing around with here. But this is at least worth looking at here. So now this is pulled back 63%, where ELF has only pulled back 58%. Could give us some type of indication of where this thing might be headed. However, that being said, 58 has not quite hit the 618 yet. So this might be worth taking a look. Let's take a look at ELF ETH. ELF ETH. ETH. All right. I don't know if I've been on this chart in a while. Okay, so we got a big old wick. And, you know, that's a problem. Big old wicks are not great because they change all the data. Ugh. This chart's gross. Yeah. This chart's disgusting. Hold on. Bear with me. This might be a little better. All right. I mean, it's a better chart. Not by much. All right, so here's what we got. Now we popped out of range above, pop below, creep back in, did a range spread, and we lost it all, right? So if this was like trading, like good trading, then I would be a little bit more excited. But this kind of trading, sort of whatever. Let me check the 5-minute chart and see if this was legitimate or not. You know what? I mean, it actually was, right? So when you got a big spike like that, I like to just zoom in and see if it was real trading or if it was just a fat finger. So we could see what's in green right here is, I guess, what did I do? Three candles worth. So I don't know. 3 days worth of 5-minute candles. But anyway, look at what we have here. So on the 5-minute chart, you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, right? You don't have one big fat finger. You got a whole bunch, right? You got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes of trading. Volume picked up from nothing to massive and then trickled down to about nothing again. All right, starting to get a little bit more volume over here, up over average, and we are starting to find a little bit of support. So I know this seems strange, but why don't we throw a fib on this little disaster coin right here. Let's see what we got going on here. So from the bottom, right, to the top-ish, something like that. All right, so finding support on the 709. All right, so initially, with the big push up, came down, found its initial support on the 618, right? That's what we always like to see. 618 failed to creep up to the 5. Back and forth, all over to 618, but really no man's land, right? Above and below. So, you know, we like to add the 709 and the 706 because it tends to play well in crypto, and this is no exception. Lost the 618, pushed back up to the 5, failed, came back down, higher high, okay, that's great. Swing fell on the low side, dropped it back down, came back down, found support 709. 709, pushed back up, and now we're back to the 618 as resistance. So, like anything else, right? You got to creep up over to 618, retest the 5, you probably skip the 5, get up to the 382, come back down to the 5, 5 to the 23, 23 to the 38, and back to 0. That's if it's going to be on the long side. Now, with volume coming up, that's a good thing, but overall, I really just wanted to see if this was legit trading, and it looks like it was. So it's something that we can at least put on like an hourly chart and say, all right, if I wanted to range trade this, what would I need to do here, right? So you set your targets down, you front run a little bit, somewhere around the 28.86 zone, and then you front run a little bit on the top, 37.70. But this is an excellent method of trading, just doing the range bound stuff, because you can get, what, 24%? I mean, that's fantastic, right? So 24% just on, you know, setting these targets and just letting them do their thing. Or 32%, I'm sorry. I don't know how I had that upside down. But anyway, so if you were to pull that off, right now, if I were you, I would go back over here and just say, how did range play out last time, right? We hit a bottom, we hit a top, it came back down. Came back up to top, pushed, all right, this whole thing was a fail. But what you'd like to see is some aggressive, you like to see bottom, top, didn't quite make it, didn't quite make it, didn't quite make it. All right, bottom, right? You would have got your buy orders in here. Only if you super front running would you have actually sold that. But these would be all buys. Buy, 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 sell. Right? Sell. Now you sold it. You're out of the trade. If you were to play range, right, you wouldn't have played this because it was swing fail, right? So you came up, you made your high, came back down, no retest. When you did finally come down for the test, right, you pushed all the way back up. You wouldn't have taken the trade until you were past this zone here. You got past the zone. You would have need to see a close above, which it looks like these are all wicks. A little hard to tell here. I really want my mouse back. Oh my God, my mouse. Yeah, you did have one close above, right? So that probably would have fooled me. It would have gone in, depending on other, indicators, and then would have been right out, right, after that. But anyway, then you push back over here. You're still in a sale. You're not in buy mode. So you would have bought right here and then expect it to come back up over here. I would imagine you'd have a stop loss, below your lowest low. So you would have been out of this trade. So this would have been nothing, 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 nothing. And then as you creep back in, you would have done this, right? So push, right here. So push up, close above, come down. You would have bought right here. You're still looking to sell up here. You would have been still in this trade, pushed it right here. You would have sold early, but you'd been out with profits, 32%, nothing to be mad about. And then you would have sold, and you would have been looking, somewhere in this ballpark, probably 886 zone to buy again. So if you're going to range trade, you're looking at 28. Let's say between 2860, 2890 as target area, right, for purchase. You'd want to be out, try to find a low over here. So this lowest low right here looks good enough, 2712. So you have to mark your capital that you're gonna use based off of total capital to find out how much you can actually throw on the trade. That is fantastic. Knowing that if you lose it, what happens? Blah. Yeah, knowing that if you lose it, right, you don't want to lose over 2% of your capital. If that is your style of trading. If you're just a total degenerate and you're just like, I'm throwing everything at it, to rock and roll, man, but I'm not telling you to do that. All right, Mr. K, hey, bud, great call on LTC. As always, much appreciated. You're very welcome. Yeah, dude, that's, hey, man, the idea, let's take a look at LTC, because LTC's doing things. All right, so LTC, USDT, bomb. Anyway, so that was, whatever we were just looking at. All right, so, let me go in here, 24-hour chart. All right, yeah, Litecoin and Tether. Litecoin and Tether doing things. All right, so Litecoin right now is right in the middle of another swing fail. Right, so just like many other coins, right? You had your high, you pushed right back down, right, and you got it sort of like an inverse head and shoulders over here, which would have been great if it played out because it would have pushed down a little bit lower. It didn't, but that's okay. Swung back up, made a higher high, fantastic. Drop back down again. Here's your first swing fail. Didn't quite make it. Push down, almost got a double bottom, push back up, and this right here is your next swing fail. So if indeed this candle ends up going lower, and let's say we push down to 94.69 ballpark area, retest at least this part of structure, then we would expect to see the next push up, and we could basically play our channel, right? It's a broadening wedge. It's not a true parallel channel, so don't get all mad. But if we were to play that out, you'd be looking at what? 124 ballpark. There's so many things we could do with Litecoin right now. I was looking at the 4-hour chart, believe earlier today. I think it was the 4-hour. There was a couple scalp trades in here earlier today, which were fantastic. But I haven't gotten around to streaming those yet, so sorry. But anyway, now if I do end up having a little bit more home time, then that's, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Maybe. We'll see if that's going to be a thing. Anyway, so here we go. On these trades right here, right? So you got the aggressive move up here, which was this push, right? Off of these. So you had your little bottom, which was a double bottom. So like immediately, if you're doing any type of like a short term, you know, like, I don't know, 1, 5, 15-minute scalping, or you're doing like intraday trading where you want to be in and out in, you know, inside of like 2-3 hours. Take a look at the 4, like overall bias, right? Take a look at the 1. 1's going to help you with entries, going to help you with trends, local moves, local patterns. And then, you know, you can get in like super entries over at like a 15-minute chart or like a 5-minute chart. But anyway, all that being said, right, you had this nice trend right here, right? So here we go. This is on the 4-hour, remember, right? So you had this trend right here. Nice trend line, right? Holding up. So you had a new trend. You had a low, you had a high, you had a higher low, right? You had a higher high, higher low. And then right here, you failed to make a higher higher. So that's a swing fail on the local side, right? Came back down again, but it found support. So now you're like, all right, well, I could play the trend as a flip, right? So this is a support resistance flip. So right here, this candle, this little puppy, and this was a few days ago, right? So you had this little puppy push down, right? So, and then push back up. So what does that tell you right there? Swing, fail, right? So support resistance flip. So you had a nice support line, came down, you closed below it, you failed, you pushed back up, you retested it, then you had the nice drop, right? So you're already looking at this area here saying, all right, well, if it gets lower than here, then we got an issue with our actual trend. Local trend, right, is still up, okay? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, as long as it's a higher low than your previous higher low, then we're still in trend. Right here again, higher low. So we haven't lost it yet. So if you see something like that, you can play the flip. So here's the flip, here's your exit, right? So you could take profits whatever the hell you want over here. It doesn't make any difference. I try to go like candle by candle, you know, like this would have been my area to get out. You know what I mean? This lower low before our actual low. Because again, once you cross here, right, you basically, you failed more than just this little thing. You know, the bigger picture was failed, and that's not good. So if you fail this, that's not good. And your next fail at that point is like all the way down here, right? Your next higher low, right? So way down at 71. So you got to be somewhat realistic with it. Anyway, push that up over here. So as this was coming up, you expect this move right here, find resistance. Didn't find resistance. It blasted right through it. So what does that tell you? Momentum's back, right? So momentum's back, volume's back. Big push on volume, up over average. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 periods below average volume. Bang, you got one huge candle above average volume. So now you zoom in, right? Because that's the whole point. You zoom in and go to the hourly. Right? So we went from a 4 to a 1. So it closed just below it. Next candle pushed up over it. But this is close enough for our retest. That's how that works. Right? You have to be somewhat, you know, okay with this move here. The fact that you painted a full hour candle down, it didn't even touch, that's good enough. So over here you enter. Right? Even if you entered at the close of this candle, which would have been down here, which would have been perfect, right? Good entry down here. Bang, 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 bang. Right? You could have taken all those. Now the bigger picture shows us this. Swing fail, right? So if you have, let's go back to the 4. So if you have your swing fail, that's this, right? Come over here, down, bang. This is your fail. But now look what happens. Just like that. Where's your entry? Right here. What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? You got to push up, just about close above, come down, retest, push. Okay? All bullish after that. Bullish, bullish, bullish. All right. So there's so many things you could do with just one chart based off of your trading style and your time frames, when you want to be in the trade, when you want to be out of the trade, how much time do you have to look at the chart, how much time do you have to analyze things. I mean, we could look at this one chart for the next 12 hours and price may never change. You may just sit in the same spot. But remember, zoom out, look, and all of that is trading within our larger broadening wedge. At the end of the day, we're looking at targets up here, sell up here, buy down here, right? This is all inside of what's really shaking. Now let's take a look at the daily, right? As far as the daily is concerned, everything's fine. There's nothing going on here. We're good. Parabolic move up, come down for a pullback, push all the way back up, higher high, come back down for a pullback, right? Expect this to go a little bit lower. Why? Because previous structure right here. We could have taken this line and just put it right here and said that's what we want. Bang, 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 bang. It's all good. Come back down, retest previous structure, push back up for another higher high. So on the daily, on the larger time frame, we're still looking at a higher high. Is it going to get there right away? Based off of previous price action, probably not. It's probably going to dance around this crap for a little bit, do a little bit of this, blah, 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 until we get to a point, bang, huge pullback, right? But now after you have your huge pullback, you could do a couple parabolic moves to get yourself back into that situation again. So, it's kind of anybody's move at this point. You can throw this line up here because now you've changed, right? You've changed the arc of your actual play. So if we did something like that, maybe push this up like this, got ourselves a little bit of a parallel channel, we can give ourselves, let me get rid of this because that's lower time frame. Okay, so now we could say, all right, if we were to play just this channel for now, what are we looking at? Well, we'd be looking at resistance right here, push this down a little bit, and anything within this zone is totally allowable. And will eventually, if trend continues, do this. We'll eventually cross that line, 107.14. You cross 107.14 and now you're painting yourself a higher high. And what does that mean? It means you're still in trend. Your trend has not been invalidated. Now, if you want to invalidate this trend, if you want to destroy this trend, if you want to ruin everything, then here's your ruiner, right? 66.50. So that's now you make a low here. What happens, right? You made a lower low, right? You make a lower low and that's death for trend. So trend reversal is imminent at that point. Now, if you go to let's say the weekly, right? It might not be that big a deal because again, everything's in perspective, right? So here's your low, your high, basically your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, and your higher high. So now it's still the same one, 66.50. So even on the weekly, you cross 66.50 to the downside. Even if you're retesting this structure over here, that's cool, but you just blew trend. Right? All right. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday. Happy Friday indeed. BNB, man, you're late. We already did BNB. And that coffee's so good. All right, let's see. Well, I mean, if nobody's opposed to it, we'll scroll back to BNB. I don't care. Whatever. I just want my mouse back, and I don't have it, so BNB's not going to change that, is it? It's not. Yeah. All right, so BNB. All right, so we did just talk about this, but whatever. We'll just breeze through it real quick. Overall, large frame targets. This is the weekly chart. Larger frame targets. Next target is 37.47. Really, it's 37.32. That's what we're looking for. Trend is healthy. Everything looks fine. Let's go over to the daily chart. So the way we look at it right now, we had our trend, right? Continue after the big move. We sort of respected this channel for a little while. Traded above it, traded below it, traded through it, right? Back up and through, gave us a new higher high. Since then, we're painting a little bit of a pennant over here, but otherwise everything is okay. This is too sharp of a slope to maintain. So expect, sideways action, yada, yada, yada. Even if we came all the way back down to our wedge, right? Our super, super skinny wedge. Let's just say, we were all the way down to 29.52. That would be more healthy for this trend than a continuation of parabolic, because you can't expect it to maintain that, right? This is more of a trend. It's a healthy trend. Okay, a couple moves up, a couple moves down, a couple moves up, a couple moves down, whatever. But you're respecting trend. You got your high, you got your higher low, you got your high, higher low, higher high, higher low, zoop. All right, so this is just too sharp to keep. So based off that, I would expect this thing to kind of round out a little bit and work its way back over here, find a little support and push back up again. But I'm looking at 37 to happen kind of before that happens. Just based off of this move being so strong, there's no real need for this thing to come down sharp anytime soon. I mean, it's just doing its thing, and everybody's okay with that, right? So Bitcoin approaching the 8,000 mark. Now I understand we just lost $20, right? So 79.80 sitting at Bitcoin right now. But when if we can get Bitcoin to just stay somewhere, right, anywhere, for a few days, that generally allows people to pull out of Bitcoin, put their fiat into something else, other assets, have them move for a little while, so long as when they get back into Bitcoin, they either get it at the same price or lower, right? That's the idea of trading the cycle, right? So you ride Bitcoin while it has its nice moves up because it's killing alts, which is giving alts a better entry, yada, yada, yada. And then you pull out of Bitcoin that dumps Bitcoin or leaves it somewhat sideways so long as other people are propping it up. Boom, now you have fiat. You put that fiat into another asset. That asset then goes up. You pull out of there and you put it back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin then, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the cycle. So if everybody would just get on board with that, we would be cool. You know what I'm saying? And we could run the roost of the market. But for every buyer you need a seller, every seller you need a buyer. So of course there have to be people, not in the loop, or otherwise you'll have no one to sell to. That's just how that works. All right, so Link and Raven. Hey, Wallbanger, what's up? All right, let's see. So yeah, let's take a look at Link. Link. Does Link have a... Does. It does. It certainly does. Oh, Link is just doing things. All right. So, Link doesn't have much history on the tether chart. Let's see. It maintained our parallel for a little while. Came back down, retested. Everything was cool with that. That's great. What do we have this set at? Let's see. Yeah, okay. So all-time low to previous all-time high. Top of range. Came back down. Had a nice pullback. Yeah, all the way down to 709. 709. I don't know why, but we had a buy order down here. That's cool. And it looks like it pushed up over here. So let's do this. Let's get rid of this. I would imagine we've already hit a 423, but let's just double check. Because I want to, yeah. So we hit our 423 right here. All right, so that being said, yeah, that's too bad. Well, this is probably the next best one. I want my mouse back. Yeah, that's not going to work either. So we've exhausted that one as well. That's brutal. I don't want to use this one, but I do want to look at it. Oh, that was nice. I'll top it right here. Yep. Man, that's too bad. All right, well, I mean, we could try this one. Ugh. Oh, I mean, it's not great. It's really not great. All right, well, if we did use this pull for targets, yeah, I mean, you're looking at like 1.6, but you know, it's kind of exhausted. That's part of the problem. So, like anything else, you know, on a tether pair, there's not much history. So let's go link BTC. Let's take a look at our history over here. So, like, everybody's a little bit different with trading, but you know, like the moral of the story is, right, you're probably stacking sats, right? You're probably trying to accumulate more Bitcoin for the overall bigger picture. Bigger picture puts more Satoshis in your pocket, you know, and then when Bitcoin hits, you know, parabolic levels, everybody's, you know, buying Lambos. And that's cool. I'm on board with that. I'm totally cool with that. But there comes a point, too, when you need to make withdrawals or you're trading for a different purpose. So let's say you do like a hybrid system where you're stacking sats, but you're accumulating fiat as well for withdrawals, or you're accumulating fiat for, you know, whatever, 1,000 other reasons, whatever they are. I don't care. So if you're doing something like that, you'd like to take a look at the Tether chart or the US coin chart, whatever. Tether because it has more history than other stable coins. However, when you do that, right, you lose out on the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the Bitcoin pairing, and the Bitcoin pairing will give you historical support resistance, right? Levels that make sense, you know, a year, 2, 3, 4 down the road, those levels still come into play. So, that being said, even if you're a fiat trader, so even if you're a crypto trader who exits all trades and goes back to fiat at the end of every day or whatever the case may be, then you still need to look at, or at least focus on, what's happening on the Bitcoin pair, so you got a better idea on what levels may make sense. All right. Okay, so anyway, now that I'm done ranting about nothing, let's take a look at what we got here. So we had our previous high. This would be our, yeah. So that's our all-time high. All-time high came back down like every other freaking chart, right? Another swing fail, another one, resistance, push down, push back, all the way back down into previous accumulation zone. Accumulation back into where we had range once before. Range, built ourselves a nice little Sammy here. Sammy goes up, bang. So right here, right at the aqua line, is when you would start taking a look at the interest, because now you're over all-time high. So what happens? All right, you cross over, come up, come all the way back down. Big pullback just on one candle, right? Come back up, swing fail. Push back up again. Now you're a little bit higher, still to the downside, price reverse to the downside. So now you just have another swing fail, which is so annoying. So now we do this and that, right? So now again, you know, like everything else. Oh, yeah, that would have been nice. So we're aiming for that target. All right, so these were our buys. Yeah, okay. So these are our buy orders, and this is our ultimate sell order. Not totally sure. Oh, that's our 423. Okay. So yeah, so we're good. So this move right here, this was our 1618 push up out of range. 2618 target was hit. Currently actually finding support. Yeah, so currently finding support on 2618. I wouldn't put way too much faith into that, only because this is a larger move. So the overall big move, I know this is going to look like total trash, but give me a second here. The overall bigger move, a pullback. I mean, dude, you could see this. Yeah. Dude, you can see this thing go all the way back down to 12 again. 12.092. And if it does, you know, saddle up, because if you don't find support there, you're all the way back down to 11.125. So, but a few things could happen before then. So watch out for them. So this, first off, all-time high, finding support, or at least pushing back down and retesting it. Now, you already did on this candle, so I wouldn't expect that to happen. But if it does, look for support. If not, push back down to previous high, which is right here. So support at 13,895 and support again at 13,360. So this little zone right here is still safe, and you would actually just be back in our original buy entries, which is okay, as long as something else is telling you that this is just pulling back. Link, I don't believe you can short on any exchange, so you'd probably just want to sell, be out, or at least put yourself in a situation where if your main first line of defense doesn't hold, just get out of the trade and reassess it. Get yourself in a situation where you can take a look and say, all right, if this thing does go all the way down to 11 again, do I want to be holding it that whole time? No, I'm going to use my capital to do some other things, make some gains, come back in, buy it at 11, and push it all the way back up to somewhere around 23. All right, so that's Link. And what'd you say? Raven, I think? Raven. Raven Trex. Oh. Let's go Bitcoin. I don't want to deal with Trex. Okay, so let's see. Daily chart, still in trend long term. We got our low, we got our higher high, we got our higher low, working our way back to the next higher high. Higher high ballpark area is going to be somewhere around 2112-ish. Still have targets set for 160% on this level here. So buy targets was 618. 618, it lost to 709 and it tapped down at the 786. So instead of finding support at the 618, it blew past the 709, found support at the 786. So 786 is okay with me. I got no problem with that. It is tailing back down again, so look for a double bottom back down at the 786, which would end up basically being like a triple bottom. So you'd have like 1, 2, 3, and then push. Along the way up, you know, don't pay too much attention to this channel right here. It worked out right here, and that's about it, right? Did do a little flip right here. So remember we talked about flips, right? It came back down here. There's your retest, right? And flipped it short. Came back, did another retest, which is basically a fail, right? It should have flipped, didn't flip, and ended up falling and finding more resistance. So again, on the larger scale, right, we're still in trend. Everything's okay. Right, you have a low. It's almost a double bottom. So you have a low, have a high, higher low, only if by like a sat. Then you have a higher high. You have a higher low. All right. So long term, still good. Of course, we got to move this now. Let's say that goes to the 786 again, and we'll do something like that-ish. All right. This trend is not confirmed. So let's be very clear about that. Right now, it's just 2 dots. 2 dots make a line, and that's it. Third one will be verification. So it's not confirmed yet. It has not been verified. It is simply just a line. And lines are good because they sort of show you where things may or may not go, but they don't do anything for you as far as targets until they're verified. So it's possible that it'll be verified in this zone, and it's possible that, you know, we never get that high again. Who knows? All right, but 1723 is going to be ballpark area, right? Top of this all-time high move should show resistance. Along the way, you'll probably have more resistance around 13. It's going to be this area here where it topped out, tried to push up, ended up being another swing fail, and pushed back down again. So these were your highs that created this low. You had a nice bounce with rejection, so rejection on our old buy orders, so support which was once support, which is now resistance, push back down. So again, I would expect to see 578 ballpark, which would give us a triple bottom push up. Overall long-term target be about 100 and whatever, probably like almost 200% by the time that was all said and done. Let's say we move this down here, 276%. So that'd be a ripper and a half, but you know, it has to actually happen. All right, now failure to maintain the 786, right? So you lose the triple bottom and it pushes below. Next stop is 886. The only problem with that is 886 is kind of in no man's land, right? It doesn't really line up with this previous high. And it doesn't really line up with this previous low. So that being said, no man's land can be kind of scary, which means you could dump down, and then you do like basically a triple bottom to the downside, right? All-time lows. This is going to be heavily dependent on what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin has a major influence on these weaker, super low sat coins, right? So, you know, if you're trading into the thousands in sats, you know, or into the hundreds like you are down here, expect to get throttled pretty hard when moves are made, right? Either up or down. Doesn't make any difference. All right, so in the time that we have talked, Bitcoin has gone up $30. We're now showing 80.10. Tons of buy orders coming in, so yada, yada, yada. That's great. And let's see. Yeah, we'll finish off with Wallbanger, ONT, BTC. Why not? Let's take a look. ONT, BTC. All right, so, guys, this chart is terrible. Holy mackerel. All right, so this is disgusting. All right, anyway, so let's do this. Let's get our range. Might as well incorporate that bottom area there. That makes a little bit more sense. It does look a little toppy, right? We could push something like that. Okay, so we're back in range. Ultimate goal for now is getting past this zone here. We're not worried about this line anymore. Clearly we're past it. All right, so yeah, we need to get over that line. So what did we do? We broke out of range. We created a new trend. Got ourselves a buy-in on a pullback. Very nice. Got ourselves a sell on a pullback. Very nice. I don't know why that's green. It should have been red. That's all right. 61%. Good trade, everybody. Okay, but it's over. So let's get out of here. Now, again, another swing fail. Swing fail with a good push. Okay, that's over. Let's get that out of here. We're not worried about old trades, so let's get that out of here. All right, so this was a flip. Why is that green? Okay, bang. There we go. So this was a flip right here. Again, close below, push back up, retest, and then failure, right? So that's good. This is probably, I mean, that's close to 100% retrace. Overall, probably looking like an 886. Bigger picture. Something like that. Here's your 886, and there's your support. So, you know, it's ugly. That's for sure. That is for sure. But what did we do on the way down here? We found support on historical. That's that aqua line, 25.14. Back down, blew past our 709. Hesitated for only a moment on the 786. Found support on 886. Pushed the 78. Failed the 70. Working its way back to 88. All right, so again, very much like Raven that we just looked at. If this is going to find support, it would make more sense now to come back to 886 again, right? Or at least like this zone, find support there, and then push, right? Make the next push up. At least a climb back to, 618 again, right? Which really wouldn't be a bad trade, all things considered. Where are we at here? Where's my... Holy moly, what is going on? Let's say you went 886 to 618. 34%? You crying? No, no one's crying. No one's crying with that. Let's say even you played it super safe and you were like, man, we ain't even going to get over that 709 again. 21%. Great. Good trade. All right, so I would do this. Let's say... Let's cover our tracks here. All right. Let's say... And, we didn't want to front run it a little bit. Bang, just like that. All right, we're like almost there. If you were to buy in this zone and projected to hit, let's just say all the way back up to our zero, all-time high, create a new all-time high, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's super cheering. Oh, yachts for everybody, 117%. All right, if you're more realistic and just say, well, I'm totally cool with 20%. It's fine. Bring it back to historical 20%, which also coincides with our 709. So a little bit of confluence in the trade. Now, if you were end up losing, let's say this level right here, the low before the high, well, then you might want to get the hell out of here. Because at that point, it could really do anything. Your next level of support, be like 13. Can't really even count this. I mean, and then it's like free, so yeah. Overall, this is not great, right? Because your high is still a low, all things considered. So whereas other ones, at least we had something shaken. This is looking a little bit more dramatic. Because of this big move up here, this big swing fail, and now you just got nothing going. So at that point, you're kind of forcing the trade. But, I mean, there's a trade to be made. There's your swing fail, right? Like, you got to get all the way back over here just to get into the cautionary period, the warning zone, before you cross over 34.94 again. So you got a lot to do. That being said, you do have a low and a higher low and a higher low. On the grand scheme of things, it's a trend by definition, although it failed that trend line. Yeah. Yes, it's not even a good trend. Yeesh. Well, let's just say we did that. So even by trend, failing trend, pushing back up, creeping back down, like, it's not even a good trend. So let's just get that out of there. Yeah, this is a risky play, man. This is high risk. It'd be a banger for sure. But high risk. All right. Call it 118%. On the downside, though, what do we got here? Let's say you took it. Let's just say you took the 886. Let's say your down marker was the aqua line. That's 7%, man. We're putting a whole lot of capital on there. But now if you played it safe, let's say you played it safe right here, right? 22 up, 7 down. It's a 294. It's not great. Put it this way, there's probably better trades out there. All right. Is it a play? It may be. But there's probably better trades out there. And everything. Every freaking thing. And the one time you did at least cross over your EMAs, you crossed over the 8, the 13, failed on the 21, crossed the 21 the next day, close up and over it, and then you lost it after finding support on your 13. Then you found support on 13 again, bang your head again on the 21. 21 showed its strength again, and now 21 is the victor, right? So 21 wins. The 7's a loser. Your 8's a loser. Your 13's a loser. Everybody's showing pressure, right? Everybody's pushing down. So it's ugly. It's ugly, I tell you. It's ugly. All right. No worries. Yes, you're welcome. You are welcome. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. All right. What time is it? Yeah, it's 9. All right. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. You know the drill. You know the drill. I got some things to do, some things to attend to. I got some more coffee to drink. All right. But I do very much appreciate you guys coming out. As always, you guys are the best. I do appreciate it. We'll look to be back on again tomorrow, same time, same place. It is a holiday weekend coming up for Americans. So it will be Memorial Day weekend. That starts, I guess, today, being that it's Friday. So that'll be Saturday, Sunday. Markets will be closed. Traditional, let's be clear about that. Traditional markets will be closed on Monday. Crypto does not sleep. So yeah, same place, same time. Tomorrow should be here. Not a problem. And we'll taking a look at some charts, some trades, see what's shaking over the weekend. Expect volume to dip, overall trading volume to dip between really now and Monday. Even though it's just an American holiday, that is a pretty significant portion of the market. And if a lot of people are out, they may be exiting trades and sitting on the sidelines until they can have a chance to sit back and take a look at some charts somewhere around Tuesday. All right, so just keep that in the back of your head while you're making your trades. Make sure you got liquid on the other side. You do want to get out of those trades if you do need to, without being, stuck in a position that you don't want to be in. All right, so that being said, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hopefully I should see you tomorrow. And I want to see you guys on the exchanges, and happy trading. Whew. Know what I mean? All right. I got no mouse. I need my mouse. I need my mouse.